So, the purpose of this message today is to explain abundance, because I'm very aware that there's many people who are trying to apply abundance to manifestation, and they're being told to, think in abundance. In order for you to manifest anything you want, you have to be abundant. Now, this is true. Abundance is key. But I feel like it's a very loose word that's thrown around that's not explained most of the time. So because you're on my page, I'm going to explain to you what abundance is. All right, stick around. So the first thing you need to understand about abundance, I could use one word to sum up abundance for you. And that word is resourceful. Resourceful. All right. When you are abundant, you are resourceful. All right. As a matter of fact, the words I can't does not exist when you are in abundance, because abundance is resourcefulness. There is always a way. There is always a way to get something done. All right. That's what being abundant is you knowing that there is a way. There's always a way. All right. Now, you need to understand that you understanding abundance, you need to understand it from 3 different levels, because you exist on 3 different planes of being. You're on the mental plane, physical plane, and the spiritual plane. All right. Abundance in the physical plane, very easy. That's what you call money. The more money you have is the more abundant you are, or the more resourceful you can be. The more money you have is the more things you can do, the more places you can go. Like literally, you can do more things with more money. All right, billionaires get to do way more things than millionaires do, and millionaires get to do more things than thousandaires do, and so on and so on. You get the point. The mental aspect of what abundance is confidence, right? Confidence or conviction. All right. So this looks like I said, the words I can't does not exist when you are in abundance. You are so confident in yourself. The moment that someone says you can't do this, you feel like you want to do it 3 times over just to show that you can. This is what abundance is mentally. It is confidence. It is the fact that you know that I can do this. There's nothing you cannot do when you're in abundance. But this is the most important understanding you need to have when it comes to abundance. And it is the spiritual understanding of what abundance is. Remember the word I use, resourceful, that sums up abundance. Take off the letters RE for re and the FUL for full, and you have source. Spiritual abundance is understanding that source is all abundance. As a matter of fact, the word source just sums up abundance itself, right? Everything that you could ever need or want is in source. All right, that's why being abundant is resourceful. But how do you understand that spiritually? You need to understand that as source, right? As source or spirit, the first emanation of source is soul, is what you are. Soul and source are the same thing. Soul is the emanation of source, which is conscious, which knows. That's why the soul knows everything. All right? As a matter of fact, spiritual abundance is that knowing feeling. It's not like you feel like you know, but you know because you feel it. It is a deep thing. The soul comes directly from source. Source is all abundance. And this is what faith is too, people, without you going to church to understand what faith is. Faith is you knowing that you know without seeing it. Because source is God. All right? And you as a soul, you are a direct emanation off of source. You come with everything already. It is the part of source that is conscious and knows. That's why when you're more soulful, you feel more, or the knowing is more of a feeling. You can't explain it to people. You feel like you know because you feel it. So that's what abundance is, people. All right? Abundance in the physical world looks like money, riches. Abundance in the mental realm is super confidence in the self, that you can do anything you set out you can do. And abundance in the spiritual realm, it is having faith. It is having faith in self. It's not confidence, it is faith. You know without seeing it, without any proof that you can do it. You just know. That's faith. Now, let me go a little bit further before I end this video. You got to understand that at the highest point of consciousness or source, this is where the God energy or the God frequency exists. We are finite minds as human beings. Because we are finite minds, we might not always know the way. This is why we need to be faithful and move from soul, which is connected directly to source. All right? You in your human mind might not be able to see how you can get this thing done. But you know what? God can. And I'm directly connected to God. So I know I can do it. You see how abundance works? You see how faith works? But that's what abundance is. You exist on 3 different planes. So you need to understand abundance from 3 different perspectives so you could really bring it into your life. Before you can get the physical money, you need to have faith and you need to have confidence in self. All right? Ice is water first. So you can't expect to have the physical thing first, the money first, then you're going to have confidence. It needs to be there first. Water turns into ice. Okay? So you need to have the faith first, confidence in self, and then anything you move towards, that money will show up. And that, my friend, is abundance. Peace.